Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing this tutorial for you. It's a Australia Day makeup tutorial, or you could also do it as like 4th of July. Considering that the Australian flag and the American flag are exactly the same colours. Zara's crying at me. Zaza, don't cry. Only babies cry. Don't cry. Don't do it. So considering that America and Australia have very similar, actually I think they're the same, exactly the same flag colours, this could be an Australia Day look or a 4th of July look depending on where you're from and what you are celebrating. So with that said, if this is of any interest to you whatsoever, then keep on watching. Alright, so I'm going to start out with some Fix Plus. I actually just got a brand new one. It's so fresh. I use this so much that I ran out. I've gone through so many. I wish they would do the like scented ones still, because this is just the original one, but I really liked the scented one, the rose flavour. So good. So I'm just using the Fix Plus as my primer today because I feel like I've been using the Lit From Within Mecha Primer so often lately. You guys are probably so bored, but honestly it's just so good. Today for foundation, I'm going to be using this Nude by Nature foundation. This is their Flawless Liquid Foundation and this is the shade Warm Nude. From memory, I feel like this is a touch too dark for me, but we will see how we go once we've got concealer and everything on. And I'm going to pop that on with my XoBeauty Detailed Fiber Brush. See, it's way too dark for my natural skin colour, but luckily I am a fake tanned at the moment, so yeah, matches my body quite well. Not too bad, not too bad. I think we're okay. I really love the finish of this foundation, but fuck, it smells so weird, man. I don't know what it is. It's like sunscreen, but like that thick sunscreen that you put it on and you're like, it's like paste. That's what it smells like to me. It's beautiful, but it's funky. Okay, so now I'm gonna do my brows off camera and then I will be right back. As usual, I'll leave a little tutorial for my brows here, just in case you want to see it. Now that my brows are done, I'm going to put a base down for my eyes and I'm going to be using the Nars Creamy Concealer for this. And just on a really small concealer brush, I'm just going to carve that out. And then whatever's left over on the brush, I'm just going to pop that on my lid as a base. And the palette that we're going to be working with today is the Jaclyn Hill palette, just because there's a few blues in here and it's got these nice like reddy orange shades that I kind of wanted to have a play with, just because I feel like it really suits the Aussie kind of theme colours. And orange is usually a really nice transition shade for blue, so that's why I thought this palette would be the most suitable for today, but any eyeshadows that you have I'm sure will do just fine. Alright, so I'm going to start off with the shade Pooter. I feel like I have to say that with an American accent. Pooter. And I'm going to put that all over my lid. So I'm literally just packing that onto the lid and then kind of buffing it out towards the tail of my brow. Now I'm going to take the shade Hunts and I'm going to pop that on the inner and outer corners and just kind of buff it lightly through the crease. And for this I'm using a small blender brush by XoBeauty. I always like to check my makeup with my eye open as well, and sometimes you might even notice that I'm kind of applying it with my eye open, and that is because of my hooded eyes. I really don't want to do all this work and then open my eye and it just to be lost under the hood of my eye. So I find if you have hooded eyes, make sure that you open your eyes every now and then just to see if everything's visible when your mobile lid is over all that lid space. Now I'm going to take the shade Jax on this same XoBeauty brush and basically just repeat those steps because we slowly want to get deeper and darker. That is the trick with smoky eyes. You always want to start off light and then build it up so that it's much easier to blend out. Trust me. Now I'm going to take the shade Chip, and I'm going to take that on my Sigma E45 brush, and I'm going to really deepen up the inner and outer corners of the eye. Now this next step may seem a little bit scary if you're not very confident with this kind of thing, but I'm actually going to use MAC's Paint Pot in the shade Blackground, and I'm literally going to do just that. This is going to be like a base for the blue eyeshadow, and the reason why I'm doing this is because an eyeshadow will show up very differently depending on the base that it's sitting on. If I did this like a normal cut crease where I put down a really light concealer first, it would show up very, very blue, and I kind of want it to be a little bit more of a like a midnight blue. So I'm going to put it on top of the Blackground Paint Pot by MAC, and then hopefully when I put on the blue it's going to be a little bit darker and show up more as like a deep kind of midnight blue. I don't know how else to describe it, but yeah, hopefully this works out. So I'm just going to pack this right onto the lid, and for this I'm using an Anastasia Beverly Hills brush. Doesn't say the name of it, but it's just like a shader brush. So just packing that right into the middle of the lid. And then if you flip this Anastasia brush, it's got a blending end on the other side. So you've got your shader brush and your blending brush. So I just flipped it, and I'm just gonna soften out the edges. You want to work a little bit quickly with this just because the paint pot will eventually set, and if you haven't had a chance to properly blend it out, then it will be quite a harsh line. So as you can see, the paint pot has made doing a smoky eye so quick and so easy. It's just so much better just to get paint pot on there as a base, quickly do it, blend it out, it's done. Don't have to worry about it, and because it is a cream, it usually blends out pretty nicely. And just to make sure that everything is nice and blended, I'm going to go back in with this big fluffy brush and take the shade Butter, and I'm just going to blend this out through the crease. So I just swatched the shade Twerk from the Jaclyn Hill palette, and it's actually showing up kind of purple, which I definitely don't want. See how that's kind of purple? I don't know, it's showing up very purple to me, and that's not the look that I was going for today. So I just quickly grabbed my eyeshadow from Makeup Geek, and this is in the shade Neptune, and this most definitely is blue. So I'm gonna go in with this shade now all over the lid, and I've just taken this on an XoBeauty angled eyeshadow brush and just popping that into the center. Yeah, so that's definitely more of what I wanted. It's not showing up super bright like it does in the pan because of the black base that we put down. It's almost like a navy blue. So to make this more of a spotlight eye, I'm going to go in with Colorpop's Too Shy, and this is one of their Super Shock pressed pigments. And I'm actually just going to take this on my ring finger because I find that this is just the best way to apply these, and I'm just going to pop it right on the center of the lid. So it's a bit hard to apply stuff with your finger, but just do your best to keep it right in the center and not too much in the inner corners. By all means, if you want this to be like a super shimmery look, then just pop it all over the lid, but I just kind of want it to be that little hint of sparkle just in the middle. Now that the eyes are done, I'm going to pop on some Nubounsom lashes, and these are in the shade Bella. Now I'm going to go back in with that shade Pooter and I'm going to run that underneath my lower lash line. Then jumping into the shade Jax on this same E25 brush from Sigma, I'm just going to pop that underneath the lower lash line. Just making sure that everything's nice and blended. Okay, so now to clean up under the eyes as well as highlight the face, I'm going to be using my Nars Creamy Concealer again. Blending that out with a Real Technique sponge. So that has really brightened up the under eyes, and now we kind of have that clean line there. Concealer's really helped to clean everything up. I've actually been doing this thing lately where I don't set my under eyes, so I'm just going to leave that how it is, and the concealer can just kind of settle in. I find that I don't get too much creasing when I do this. It just kind of depends on the concealer, and usually this one's fine. So now I'm going to go in with my Hoola bronzer by Benefit. This Hoola bronzer is very well loved. Hit pan. It's dirty, but whatever. Just going to kind of do a line and then blending up. It's a great bronzer for contouring as well as bronzing. Do my jawline too. Just going to do my nose. Always feels so much better with a bit of a nose contour. I don't know what it is, but so good. I feel like I have a bit of a bronzer helmet on. Maybe it's just the shadowing. I don't know. We good? We good. For highlight, I'm going to be using the Chromaglow palette, and I'm going to be taking the shade Peaceful. This highlight is so stunning. Love it. Just do a bit down my nose, my lip. Now I'm just going to take my Sigma Buff and Blend brush just to do all the little detailed bits. To help tie in with the eyes, I thought I should do a blush, but because the eyes kind of have that accent of orange to them, I'm going to go in with Give Me Sun by MAC. Just kind of warm that up. Just really softly popping that on the cheeks and up towards the temples as well. Before I forget, I'm just going to do some mascara on my lower lash line. Always forget this. Now I'm just going to do one more spritz of Fix Plus. And to finish this look off, I'm going to go in with the XoBeauty Impavid Liquid Lipstick. Now this is a very blue undertoned red, so I'm hoping that it ties in nicely with the eyes. It's going to be very dramatic, so you can definitely go for a nude lip if you're not feeling like the bold eyes with the bold lip. I just thought for Australia Day, or if you're doing 4th of July, you gotta have red lipstick. You just kind of have to. Okay guys, so that's the end of this tutorial. I hope that you enjoyed this Australia Day / 4th of July, but it's not really July, makeup look. If you did enjoy this makeup tutorial, then please give me a thumbs up. And of course, you don't have to wear this on a special occasion. This could just be your everyday glam. I don't know. I will leave all of the products that we used today in the description below. Let me know in the comments what your plans are for Australia Day to all you Aussie babes out there. And I hope that you guys have an awesome day. I will see you in my next video, if not sooner. Bye!